Now we all know what a POV beast the DJI Nano is. You can put it in different places for unusual angles. But I realise there's one thing that I love more than anything else about this camera. And that's that beautiful wide angle lens. So, I use the Nano mostly for vlogging. Ooh, Amazon.
Hola.
Hola, gracias.
Gracias.
Amazon package. Let's see what we got here. So I ordered a baseball cap off Amazon. Ah, baby blue. I ordered a yellow one. Where's the yellow one? I'll get the other package. Amazon delivery. And here it is. I ordered this yesterday. Into it. So I'm obsessed with yellow, as you can see right at the moment. Ah, look at that. Yellow baseball cap. I really like that. Does that look good? Yeah. All right, back to where I was. So I use the Nano for vlogging because I just love the wide field of view on it. I do actually have a Pocket 4, which I bought a couple of weeks, well, last week now. But the problem is that I just don't like that blurry background that it has. It just I don't know, it just feels a bit weird because it's not like true blurry like you would have on portrait mode, for example. So I just don't find it very cinematic at all. So that's why I sort of stick with the Nano. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about vlogging on the Nano today, which I'm using now. I want to talk more about the wide angle lens and how you can use it to create really cinematographic images and videos. So yeah, but first of all, let's talk about composition. And I think one of the great things about wide angle lenses, particularly the Nano, which is obviously what I'm using now, is things like leading lines. I mean, look behind me now, no? I mean, these are quite sort of square, and you can sort of see how it creates this really amazing sort of leading lines effects. Look, I'm going backwards now. Oh, I tripped over. I'm going backwards now. But it really, really accentuates everything. So for architecture or I don't know, anything to do with leading lines, this looks amazing. So let's have a look at some examples. So I'm lucky enough to live by the beach in Spain, near Barcelona. Basically, they're building all these chiringuitos at the moment. And chiringuitos are like bars on the beach. You must have seen them if you've been to Spain on holidays. No? So as you can see, this one's still under construction. But just look at it from an architectural perspective. I've put the Nano on the floor, and it just gives this amazing sort of perspective. Now here I just moved it a little bit just to get a different angle, so you can really sort of see how everything goes to an end point on the left. I'm now just holding the Nano a little bit below, so I'm centering myself now, trying to get those angles in there, and it's just so effective. I just really, really love it. Actually, I really love it when that bar's open, I can go down and have a beer. So here's another example, and this is, there's a train tracks basically that run in front of the beach in the village where I live. So here you can see, again, using the leading lines, how effective it can be. Now let's make it more cinematic, and let's add in those black bars. And why not add some text to make it even more cinematic with cinematic text? And this is great actually for an opener to a video maybe. Oh, look, we've got a little visitor. Are you going to help me edit this video? So let's look at another train one now. This is actually shot on the other side of the chiringuito that I showed you in the earlier clips. Basically, I remember on this day, well, actually, it's basically the Spanish government's train service called Renfe, and there's always problems with it. It's always like not turning up on time, they cancel trains without telling you, there's always like trains breaking down. I don't know if you heard about it in the news a few months ago, but basically there were 4 accidents in Spain, so they closed the whole of the Renfe down for like a week. And it's slowly getting back together, and on this day that I shot this video, actually this clip that I'm going to show you, in the next village, they cancelled all the trains because the train had broken down there, and then just as I started shooting, the trains had started again. So it's like you're always like trying to catch a train in Spain, you know, there's always like a drama. So I thought it was quite funny to make this like a little jokey clip. Alright, so I've moved outside now because it's a really beautiful day. So as you can see, I'm here in my jungle on my balcony. So I think maybe it's a good time now to talk about the settings that I use on the Nano. I don't use any ND filters, just because like you get that weird thing with the stabilization with those artifacts that look really horrible. So I have it usually set on NW, so natural wide. I use a black mist, a quarter black mist filter on everything. It's supposed to beautify me, but I'm not really sort of seeing that. But I think that sort of like counteracts it and it softens that digital effect on there. Also, I shoot in D-Log, well D-Log M, and then I use the normal DJI Nano LUT. I don't do any colour grading particularly. I do maybe add a bit of brightness, or I'll reduce a bit of saturation sometimes because it's very saturated. There's a motorbike there. But apart from that, those are the settings that I use. And I think the other thing is that's just great about some of the shots that I just showed you is they're on the ground, you know, you don't even need a tripod, and you know how versatile the Nano is. So let's look at some different ones now. I'm going to show you some more natural ones now, so let's go to the beach. There's nothing more relaxing than being on the beach and listening to the sound of the waves. Again, this is on the floor. I think there's one thing to sort of like notice when you do actually put the Nano on the floor is think about the shadows. As you can see here, the camera is actually causing a shadow on the front of the sand. I guess you could crop that in to make it more sort of like cinematic with the black bars maybe. That would help. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Always think of where the sun is so that you're not sort of like causing those shadows. I think one of the issues with the Nano is the low light. So for example, I don't know, because it's such a small camera and stuff, it needs good lighting, you know, to be effective. But I did sort of like try it at sunrise, for example, on the beach again. It looks beautiful. And I found that like, it looked really good. It actually looked really good. It coped really well with the colours. So check this out, see what you think. I just love, you know, how that horizon just sits in the middle with this wide. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's so symmetrical. Really, really love it. So yeah, so low light. So I also tested it on the Timelapse in low light as well. So I did a sunset and I did a sunrise. I think the sunset looked really amazing. So have a look at this one. I think one of the key things with the Nano is you've got to check on whether you're using the natural wide or the ultra wide, for example, because it does create that barrel effect. What I found with the natural wide, you don't sort of get that. So I sort of like made a mistake on this one. So here's another example of sunrise, and I am telling you, the colours are stunning. So just to end, I want to name check a few YouTubers that inspired me actually with using the Nano. There's Chris Meets Chris, who does these amazing thumbnails actually. I'm really jealous how he uses the red and the turquoise. It looks really good. But he does really in-depth reviews of lots of different action cameras. And I really like how he plays with the colours as well when he's vlogging. He wears a red hat and it really plays with that sort of 60-30-10 colour rule. Then there's Ben Aqua, who's done lots and lots of vlogs on the Nano itself. He uses some really good creative angles as well, so you must check out some of his stuff. Then there's Tamara Gabrielle. She reviews lots of camera gear. I'm sure you know these people, you know, but just in case you don't, I'll let you know. She does some good, really in-depth reviews about different vlogging cameras, Nano included as well. She has some really good LUTs actually that she uses, that she promotes as well, so I'm actually considering buying those. They're like tone boost LUTs. And there's also Andrew, who does really cinematic vlogs, really interesting. He really inspired me a lot. I always sort of like think, oh, how would Andrew do this when I'm setting up a shot as well? So you must check him out. He's actually just moved to Barcelona a couple of months ago, so maybe I'll message him and meet up. So yeah, so that's it really. One thing, my advice is, when you go out filming, just take the Nano. Just think, I'm going to do all afternoon or all day, I'm just going to shoot shots with the Nano and different perspectives on the floor. I'm going to try on different stuck on metal objects. I'm just going to try different things because honestly, you get some really good shots. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.